So yeah, let's talk about, some of those struggles. And there's always this great debate on venture capital Twitter. Do you go down the funding route or do you bootstrap? And I think there's pros and cons to both, and obviously there's a lot of variables depending on the situation. But you said that raising capital was never a thought in your mind. You just thought sales, get revenue in the door. What were you guys, before Apple? It kind of sounds like Apple was really a catalyst for you guys, kind of taking you into some of these bigger corporations and allowing you guys to close some big deals. Before that, was it a struggle? As a new dev shop in Houston, was it a struggle to get clients? And, kind of tell us some about the early stories.
Yeah, the early stories really, HTC, I have to thank them for some of the early customers. The HTC leadership at the time was looking for the startups to meet somebody who could build things, for them.
Yeah.
And so there were some, folks there at that time that were great friends of ours. And so we used that opportunity to get the initial customers, from HTC was one of the good, I would say, channels, for us. So there were some amazing entrepreneurs that were going to HTC looking for advice, and HTC would say, well, if you need a development partner, ChaiOne can help you. So that was one of the things. And then we had some partners in California. And so these were companies that were not in the business we were in, but they were in marketing businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And they had customers that had very deep pockets. And then, as all good things always goes back to the woman in your life, right? So my wife, she got a job at Microsoft. And cool. One of her clients, one of her managers, he was looking for a solution to be built around recruiting. And the company that they'd been using was just not delivering. So this is when we were dating. So she calls me, she goes, hey, I'm going to put my job on the line. I don't really know you yet. We just started dating. But my boss...
It's getting pretty serious.
Yeah. My boss needs, so-and-so done. And today's Friday, needs it by Monday. Can you do it? I was like, I don't know. Let me talk to him. So I talked to him and he said, well, my vendor's been taking 3 weeks to get me a response. I need this on Monday for this global whatever presentation. I was like, send me whatever you got. And so what would have taken 3 weeks or 4 weeks to build, I didn't sleep that weekend and got it done over the weekend.
That's crazy.
And then, Graham, who was the boss, he said, I'm sending all my business, your way. Like, you rescued me. you haven't let me down, right? And so then we got AT&T and Nestle and T-Mobile and all these different companies that were working with Microsoft started coming our way, and we were building these solutions, for them.
How was it? You just mentioned you had like Nestle and T-Mobile and, Microsoft. Nestle's very different than, T-Mobile. But is that challenging for you guys when you have clients across, these different verticals where their businesses aren't very much alike? Or is it kind of the same process for you guys one way or another?
Yeah, it's a great question. So when you don't have any commonality in your customers, then you can become pretty commoditized because then you're just offering your services.
Yeah.
And I realized that as that was happening, that customers started saying, okay, you can do digital, but so can these 5 other companies. So what's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we said we needed to get some more familiarity with the customer's use cases and the user's problems. So we then centralized our team around plant, field, and supply chain modernization. And we said oil and gas, power, industrial services, and manufacturing.
Yeah.
Let's focus the thesis on this, right? And then we started doing that in 2013, 2014. And then over the next 7 or 8 years, we have developed this amazing database of data, of user research data and user problems in these environments.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you've solved something for an offshore rig for Chevron, we can go to Exxon and say, look, we understand your problem.
Yeah.
We can go to BP, hey, we understand your problem. And every single time we do something new, we do it faster and better because we understand the context.
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to start cross-referencing other projects that you've worked on. Even I imagine that you could do it, within different industries. It's like, oh, hey, we saw this on offshore rigs and oil and gas, and the same problem and solution. The solution can be applied over here. And
no, you're totally right. I mean, think about like refinery turnarounds, right? And so we took that knowledge and we went to nuclear power plant turnarounds.
Yep.
It's the exact same
thing right there. Yeah.
Right. And so that experience working in a refinery turnaround really helped us land the nuclear deal.
Yeah.
right? You do that, and you can go to a petrochemical plant, right, and others. So similar.
Yeah.